it's maths time, and today we are dividing by chunking on a number line, and we're going to have a little brain warm up with our starter this morning. We're going to step count in fours, and that just means counting up in multiples of 4. So we start off with 0, 4, 8, and then you're going to pause the video and see if you can write the rest of them down or say them aloud. Do that for the 4s, do it for the 3s and the 5s, and you can pause the video now and have a go. Hopefully you've had a go, and I'll go through them now with you. We've got 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36 and 40. So that's 10 lots of 4 right up the end being 40. Okay, step counting in 3s now. 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, and that's 10 lots of 3 is 30. Now we're going to step count in 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So that's 10 lots of 5 is 50. So if you're on a call starter, we're going to count in 2s. We start off, we've got cupcakes to help us. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 and finally 20, and that's 10 lots of 2. So we're going to have a little talk now, and you know how this goes. Even though we're not in school, it's either good to talk to somebody that's with you or talk it out loud if you're on your own. That's not a problem. It's just useful for you to get your maths thinking and your maths language working. Okay, so we've got the problem this morning, which is 30 dog treats are being shared between 3 dogs. How many would they each get? So that equation that relates to that word problem is 30 dog treats shared, which means divided by 3 dogs. How many would they each get? And the answer for that would be, that's right, it would be 10, because 10 lots of 3 is 30, and you can reverse that back up to help you. We can skip count, we've just done it skip counting in 3s. We know it takes you up to 30 if you do it skipped count 10 times. 10 times 3 is 30. So how can this fact help us with the next question? This is a key fact today, because we've got numbers today that go above 10 lots. Okay, so this first one is 45 dog treats, so that's more than 30, so it's the answer for this is going to be higher than 10. 45 dog treats shared between 3 dogs, and how many would they each get? It's the 3 dogs here, looking rather groovy there, I feel. Got their winter woolies on, and that can help us. How is that going to help us? We've got a number fact here that can help us to answer this question. I don't think about that in a talk. You can pause the video. Okay, we're back. Hopefully you've had a chance to talk that aloud. Well, if you take 30 away from the 45, it means you have 40. If you've divided the 30 lots of it up, it's almost like take it into 2 halves. It's like partitioning that number not into just 10s and 1s, but within the 10s. So if we have 3 lots of those 4 10s out, it leaves us with 1 lot of 10 and 1 lot of 5. So how can we divide that? We've got the number 1 10 and 5 1s, which is 15, being divided by 3. So it can help us because it leaves us with a smaller amount left to share. And if we count up in 3s and we count how many 3s are in 15 this time, that will really help us, because then we've broken it down and we've got the answers for both sets of questions ready to recombine. So if we've got 15 left, we can skip counting threes. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. That's 5 lots of 3 to get us to that 15. And then we've pretty much done. We know we've got 10 lots of 3 comes to 30, so that's 10 groups of 3. And then we've got to add on the 5 groups of 3, which is from the 15. We recombine those together, and our total answer is 15. We've got 10 from the first chunk and 5 from the second. Put them together and they get 15 each. Here we've got it again. It can help us if we share 30 between 3, it's 10. This is a shortcut. It's taking a massive chunk, and that's what this learning intention, this skill of ours today, that intention of our learning, is to find out what this chunking is represented by and how we can do that. We can chunk one set of 10 and take that big chunk off, because it's a really easy one to work out. The 10 times table we know are really quite simple. So this is a great shortcut. We'll have 15 left to share out of the 45 treats. And then, so we've got the 30 divided by 3, because we know that number fact. So we take that away from the 45, we'll have 15 left to divide by. 15 divided by 3 is 5, and then we can recombine those two answers, 10 and a 15, to get to 15. Okay, so essentially there are quite a few steps to this, and there's a lot of places where you think, oh, you can maybe slip up, but if you keep on track and you follow what we're going to do, it will become really quite useful. It's going to become a really good strategy for higher numbers, and as we know, then we're moving on to quite higher numbers. So we can take a large chunk to divide first. As it's quite easy to work out the 10 times number facts, doing this first chunk is ideal, and it makes it a lot simpler than repeating from one right way back from the beginning. Let's see that on a number line, says the little, I think it's a baby chihuahua, looking very gorgeous, very warm. So on a number line, we would start a number line with a 0, and we take our first chunk, and instead of this being one set of 3, which we normally do, we're going to add on 10 lots of 3. So that chunk is quite a big one. Okay, 30 we're adding on, so our number line at the bottom is going to jump to 30 in one leap, instead of doing all those individual leaps, all those individual jumps. Because we know this fact, then we write 10 lots of 3 at the top. That's really, really important that we remember this is 10 lots of 3. The jump should be the same size on your number line. It's just representative of, you know, a step. It doesn't matter what size it is. Your arrow should be the same size. Then we can add on the 3s. One lot of 3 gets to 33. Another lot gets 36. One more. It's a 39. We've got to go up to 45 and keep checking back on this dividend, so that we know where we have to stop, when we have to stop. So we keep going for the moment, adding on those steps of 1 times 3, adding 3, and then we reach the end. Okay, so today, if you do this and then you count up now your dividends, your how many lots of 3 that you've jumped. So we've got the first step is 10 lots of 3, so this is 10. Add 1, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this is 15 lots of 3. So we've done 15 groups of 3. So our answer in here should be 15. So there are 10 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 plus 5 is 15 jumps. So we're going to have a go with this one. This is a guided one, so if you want to turn your worksheet over, you can do this on the back and follow the steps. Our first step can be 10 times 5, because this answer of 50 is less than 65, so we can take off that one one big chunk of 10 times 5, then it means that we can jump really quickly and we don't have to do all those individual steps. So let's draw a number line. You can use a ruler for this today. Got a 0 on the end. Our first jump is going to be 10 lots of 5, which is 50, and it's going to land on 50. Then we can start doing 1 lot of 5. 1 lot times 5, and then we add the 1 step of 5 on. 55. Add another 5. 1 times 5 is 60. Add another 1. I've got to check back here. Not going too far, because that's another one that we can do. Just get carried away and just keep going, 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 going. And you can see all these jumps are the same size. Add on another lot of 5, and I've got to stop there. 65. Right, let's count them. Remember, the first step is 10 lots of 5. Okay, 10, 11, 12, 13. So our answer should be 13, because we've got 10 lots of 5, 11, 12, 13 jumps of 5. And that's where we put our answer. And it's coming to the end of the number line. When we did this the other day, it was covering it up. So Mrs. Ludlow has done her learning, and she's changed what she's done, so she's got it right this time. So another one, we've got 96 divided by 8. Our first step, it can be 10 times 8, which is a whole lot easier than doing 10 jumps of 8 all the way up through our 8 times table. Well, that's good practice anyway, doing that. This is less than 96. The answer of 10 times 8 is, if I can take a chunk off straight away, that's brilliant. 0 and up to 80. So I've got 10 lots of 8. If my jump from 80 up to 96 is actually another group, I could get another group of 10 out of that, then if I've got lots of jumps to do, I might even be able to take, there might be ones where the number's so high I could take off another whole chunk of 10 times 8. I could take another 80 off. So that's something to look out for, and you'll notice yourself doing that when you've got lots of jumps. Yeah, actually I can make those, you know, even those 2 or 3 jumps into one group of 3 times 8 if I know my answer is 24, and add on 24. So there's lots of little shortcuts that you can do if you can spot them. So I'm going to jump on in jumps of 1. 1 lot of 8, which is 8, which makes it 88. Add another lot because I've got to get up to 96. 88 add 6. Sorry, 88 add 8. Another lot of 8 is 96, and that's where I've got to stop. So counting the groups of 8, the first step is 10 lots. 10, 11 and 12 lots. It's important to remember that that divisor there is the one on this side. You can switch those round and make a few errors that way. It's quite a common error to just, you know, make just jumping up into random numbers. Don't, you know, start jumping up in 6 because there's 6 ones here. Just keep to that same strategy and it will work for you. And don't add in an 8 because that's obviously the divisor, not how many jumps of 8 you've done. So 10, 11, 12, and that is your answer. I love a chunk. A chunk of roast chicken. That's not the sort of chunking we're doing today. So your steps to success today, you're going to write the question and draw a number line starting with that 0 on the left. If that highest number is greater than 10 lots of the divisor, then you can make that first jump of 10 lots. You can then add 10 times the value under that number line and show that 10 above. Don't forget to write that 10 in because it's really important that then when you go back to count how many groups, you've got the right answer. Then you can carry on jumping in jumps of 1 times the divisor until you get to the right to the very end, and you've then got to stop when you've got to that highest dividend. Then you can circle. You can do that in a coloured pencil if you want to, or just do a circle with your lead pencil and count the total number of jumps of that divisor. That first jump represents 10. It represents 10 in all of your questions today. And then you can complete the number sentence with your answer. Good things happen when you go for it. These little pooches definitely went for it with their fashion today. And here's our question sheet, and these are, as I said to you, they are all questions where you can take a chunk of 10 out to start with. Okay, I hope that's been useful. Have a go. This is something that takes a few days, a little bit like the work that we were doing on multiplication and using the grid. We will keep going on this for a little bit before we start adding in some nice word problems and extending our understanding. Okay, and using this skill to solve higher numbers. Okay, so this looks quite a tricky one. Looking at these numbers look quite high, but don't forget you can take off a chunk of 10 times the divisor, and that's going to be a massive shortcut for you today. Hopefully you'll have a good try. Okay, that's it from me for now. Bye.